Good morning, track fans, and welcome to Sunday Slotcast Sessions. It is the 23rd of July 2023. Yes. Why yes? Because any parents out there right now are fist pumping for joy because the kids are off school officially everywhere, all over the place, which to us adults means that we can actually get to work in 5 minutes now, not 25 minutes. Get in there. So I hope you've had a good week. It has been a busy one on my end. I've been at the event, so I don't have much time to do much today, but we'll talk about that a bit later. And yeah, so we're in for a good show today. Got a few things to share. Show, as always, a great place to be if you're into slot cars and Scalextric and all things 1 in 32, 1 in 24, maybe some other scales, who knows, over time. AFX bringing in the HO. So we've got, yes, lots of people in the chat. Good morning, everyone. Well done. Up and about, I see. Look at Cozzy. Good morning. How you doing? I'm gonna have a run through these. But actually, before I do, Cozzy, I'll come back to you, buddy. And well done on your achievement of being up for the third week on a row at God unearthly time in the morning. Not that I do go to church, but if I did go to church, David at Slot Track Scenics, this nod to you. Everyone should be free and available after the Sunday stream to go to church. I'm actually quite busy this morning, so I might not be able to make it, but it's open for anyone apparently. So yes, so let's kick off with a big shout out to our young track fans, the youth of today, the new breed, the next gen, the people that are coming up to kick our butts on the racetrack. So we've got Albert and Wilfred from the top. How you doing, boys? I hope you're all right. Give your dad a shout. Elliot, Lewis, good morning. Super young track fans. I'm doing this in family and then reverse order in age. So youngest going up to the oldest. So if you're sort of at the bottom of the pile, it's no reflection. It's just the fact that you're a bit older now. So we've got Elliot and Lewis. We got young George. How you doing, George? I don't know if you're up with Lionel yet, your dad, but good morning to your pal. Got Sasha from DNA. I've not had the chance to speak to you guys yet, but you're engaging on in our channel, so I want to give you a shout out. Well done for getting into slot cars at a young age. Brilliant stuff. Give your dad a run for his money. We've got Cameron and Ruben, serious racers, these guys. They're sub 10, but they're serious racers. Got Cameron, he's doing soldering already. We've got Ruben, he's building gassers for fun. He's got gassers going on. I can't even spell gasser, let alone build one. Well done, Ruben. And we're slightly older. We've got Isabella and Leighton. Again, serious racers. Whooped my butt down at the Policar competition, but then I won't take it away from you that that's not hard to do, but it is a brilliant achievement anyway. Well done for that. So now we've had a roundup of the youth. Good morning, guys. Let's get through some of our guests. Good to have you as always. The Fingers, he's in the house. Good morning, The Fingers. The man who never sleeps, The Fingers. But we really appreciate it because people like you are lifeblood of the hobby, The Fingers. Totally. And another one, lifeblood, Darren Hall. Good morning, Daz. How you doing, buddy? Up and about. What have you got on your desk? Save it. We'll talk about projects later. I don't know if you can really see because of the camera. I've had a bit of a shift around with the camera angle. So I tend to find I'm like this in the live streams. So now I'm in the middle of the screen. Got lots of projects here. Priority of projects has changed after Friday night in Rockingham, but I'll elaborate a bit more. So good morning, Daz. Good morning, Rob. How you doing, mate? Here he is. Had a good chat with Rob the other day. He was on his way back from somewhere or other. I do listen to what you say. Good morning, Sai. Here he is. I should just give you a shout out on the good morning then, really. Where's Cameron? You haven't buried him under the porch, have you? Good morning, Nigel. How are you? Good morning, pal. Nice to have your company. Where are you calling from, Nigel? Are you in the UK? Are you abroad? Tell me, hit me up, comments. And while I'm racing through this, if you like what you're seeing already, smash the likes. As we carry on, it's easy to forget and get distracted in the content. Yeah, I like this. So if anyone doesn't know, this chap here, Rob Sale, has got his own YouTube channel and he is pretty good. He's finding his feet. He's learning about some stuff, but from watching a few of his videos in succession, starting to become a little bit more creative, trying a few new things out. I passed comment on one of them where I really liked it. I'm not going to spoil it, but there was a particular way he introduced the car. I like that. I like things like that. So people trying new things, very good. And then that's what led me to sort of bring that up. Is Daz is already subscribed to Rob Sale's channel and seeing benefit. He's like enjoyed the content. He likes his layout. He's got a bit of a dilemma with the layout. So what I'll do, Rob, is I should have put this on the slides. Okay, let's cover it. Let's cover it now, Rob. Let's do it now before we get into the show. Okay. So right, Rob said in his video recently that he might have to change his track layout because there's some de-slotting. It's just generally hard to control. And I asked him if it was the NSR that he was having challenges with. And he said, yeah. Now this is something that I didn't know about when I got my first NSR car. Was that you have holes in the screw for the ride height. So perfect. See these that screw there and that one there? That little bag that you get underneath the bottom of your NSR car. Oh, he says. That, my mate, I've got one here on this NSR car. Right. So you get this little bag. And in that little bag, you've got those little grub screws. Those grub screws, you got it, mate. They go into those two little holes there. That one and that one. And then you take the body off. And then on the top, you'll have another two screws for the other two grub screws. And then you basically tighten them down, tighten them up, and then see where the car is in terms of the ride height on the front. So what I feel you've got at the moment is when you haven't got the screws in, these two wheels here will literally wobble like this because you haven't got them screwed into place to be solid. Bad example. Be solid like this. So put the screws in, tighten them up. You've still got to have enough spin in your tyre, but that will probably keep it on your track. That's probably the modification you need to do on your track. Then another quick fix for you, mate, is some tape. I know this might be sucking eggs to some of the hardcore racers out there, but if you've not been racing or trying to work on grip, tyre grip, then this, you won't know about this. I didn't know about this until I went to Rockingham Stock Car Club. Tape, wrap it the wrong way round, and then literally pull your back tyres over the tape. There's not much coming off of this one because it's clean, but it's probably a bad example because I keep all my tyres clean. So yeah, that and that will help you with grip like you wouldn't believe. And then you'll probably get addicted to it. Like you'll do maybe 5 to 10 laps. You'll take it off. You'll go like this. You'll see the amount of dirt that is on them tires, you'll be like, ooh, get them off. So yeah, so do the grub screws on the ride height and do some tape periodically in your racing. I'd love to see, why don't you do a video on it, Rob? Do a quick video where you're pointing the camera at the desk while you're putting in the grub screws on the top and the bottom, probably a good 4 or 5 minutes in that one, and talk us through what you're doing and how you're getting that level to the track plate. And if you haven't got one of these, Rob, let me know. All right, let me know. That's all I'm saying. So there you go. Right, let's crack on through the comments. And one thing I didn't mention from the top of the tree is we've got a special guest coming in who I can see in the lobby now. So he's waving. So we'll bring him on in a few minutes or so. We'll just give him a few minutes to limber up and that. I can see him stretching off in the background. Yeah, boo-rahing. So who else is in? Good morning, everyone. If you're just joining us, 12 minutes in, you're joining us for Sunday slot car session. Time is almost 7:45. We are here every Sunday at 7:30. It is utter balminess. I love it. We'll just get warmed up and then I'll be right back on track. So good morning, Rob. How are you doing? Rob is the man. If you don't know who Rob is literally the man who created my metal tuning plate. Legend. Which I can't find anywhere now. I'm trying to find it so I can show it. Oh, there it is. There it is. With the Swift 16 seal of approval on the back. So if you want one of these metal tuning plates for flattening chassis, you can see how to do that on a recent video of mine. Go into my videos. It's the latest one. How to flatten chassis. Will it work? Yes, it really does. It's a good video. And also I've tried the method on my Legends car. I had a situation with the Legends car. I'll talk to you about that later another time. But yeah, if you want your own metal tuning plate, Rob is your man. Yeah, I think we're all there. I think, Daz, this is quite poignant, is that we're all fans of multitasking our way around the space or the amenities that we have for getting our slot car track up. Paul up in Nottingham is my best example of this, because Paul, he has no space, but he loves to race. See what I did there? And he often has to get it out, break it down, get it out, break it down. Testament to loving racing. And then he found A1 slots at Roger Barker's place. And if anyone who doesn't know Roger Barker slots, one of the finest slot car stockists and suppliers in the country. Amongst some, he is up there in the upper echelons of probably having what you need at any given time. And he actually, some occasions, and I know he'll be all right with me saying this, he doesn't actually know what he's got either. In the nicest way, Roger, because I went to the stand 2 years ago to find the coveted Scalextric Dodge Viper, yellow headlights, the lot. And I was like, Rog, have you got one of these, mate? And he goes, no, I don't think so. And then up the other end of the table, I found it. So what a legend. Well done. But yeah, Daz, hats off to you, mate. We've all got to do what we've got to do to get the race. Oh, he made it. Good morning, Dave. How you doing? It was great last week to have your company on the show, Dave. Dave at Slotar hit his 1,000 subscriber mark. And Dave, I got a top tip for you later, Dave. Something I found out Friday. I've done some work on it over the weekend, so I've got a bit of traction to see if it works. But great tip. And I wish I found this about 2 years ago. But I'll share it with you now after the stream. So remind me a bit later, Dave. What was that tip for YouTube? It's really good. So I've got to share it. Share it with you and Travis. And anyone else who wants to listen. Good morning, Carl. Carl is in the place. Yeah, no, I don't know what happened to Talking Utter Slot Dave. Maybe they've got the week off. Maybe it's summer holidays has kicked in. They've got kids. They're taking a bit of R&R. Dick, good morning. How you doing, buddy? So Dick did us a feature piece last week where he put together a couple of videos, shows how to make trees for our scenery. So if you're into trees for your scenery, there is a reason I say it like that. It's nothing to do with Dick, so it's someone else's joke. But if you like trees, then tune into the last live stream, have a look at that. Dick's actually been on a warpath, on Rampage again, showing us another piece of scenery build. But unfortunately, because of the event this week, I just haven't had the time to package that up and get that here. So next week, we're going to have another feature session from Dick on how to build hedgerows for your track at home. And it's really good. I actually watched it last night, but I didn't have the time to piece it together. As Dave at Slotard will tell you, I was putting this together until about 11:30 last night. So here we go. Right. And good evening, Rahul. Rahul is in. Good morning. Oh, Rahul. Rahul, I can see it this time. I still haven't figured out where it goes to. So just Rahul, thank you, mate. Rahul's just struggle with this a lot. Donated some money in the chat, and I have an inexperience on YouTube to actually know where that goes. He did this last week, and I just didn't know what to do, and I still haven't found it. So I'm going to find it this afternoon, because when I did research, oh, look at this. I've still got some of my track on my arm. When I did some research last week, it says it takes a couple of days to come through, and then it goes in a certain section in the studio. But I'll find it. But thank you, mate. I really appreciate it. Shouldn't do this. No one's got anything these days. But thank you. So it's whacked through it. Good morning, Reese. How are you? Good morning. Good morning, Lionel. Lionel's in the house. I think Cameron's just woken up then. Cameron's woken up. He's in the house. You missed your shout out, mate. It's nothing more to see. Go back to bed. Got John D is in the house. And we'll go for 2 minutes. Special guest. Cool. Got a thumbs up there. It's time to take a nervous wee and grab a coffee. No, not there. He's a lot of fun, this one. He's a live one. He's coming on. He's just grabbing a drink. Good morning, Paul. How you doing? Had to set an alarm. This is what the problem. This is the problem when you got your own business, Paul, and you burn the candle at both ends, being super successful. Well done. Good morning. So we'll get down to business in a moment. That's right. So that's right, Cam. You may laugh. Tell us, Cameron, what are you working on today? Have you got a car, and are you working on a car? What car is it, and what have you got to do to it? Tell us all. That's it, Dave. Inspire the youth, get them on board. These are the guys that are, see, their parents owe us big. So Simon, you owe us big. Andy, Ruben's dad, you owe us big. Who else? Nick, Pendle, you owe us big. Because like we're encouraging the young people to get into racing and keep the racing going. They're into racing, so they'll know exactly what to buy you guys for Christmas and your birthday. They'll know. You can say, I don't know, something really, really nerdy like 3.3 by 2.5 grub screws. And they'll be like, yeah, Dad, I'll get you 10-pack from Pendle. Or you'll say, I need a Dodge Viper Scalextric because I haven't got one. And they'll be, yeah, Dad, I'll hit Roger Barker up and he'll get you one. So we're sorting you out by infusing them. Yes, Dick, I did. I got the tutorial. Thank you. I just didn't get enough time to package it up. So next week, We're going to have another guest session, guest spot by you, my friend. Thank you for that. I liked it. So I'll do a little bit of editing to cut a bit out, trim it up, make it all go together nice. In the house. So from one legend to another. Good morning, Travis. So actually, what I meant to say, from one legend that is coming on in a minute as a guest to the next. Moderated. If I could spell moderated, I'd answer it, but I have no idea what that means. South Africa. Hey, I think, Nigel, you're first South African we've had on here. Brilliant. Good morning and welcome to the show, pal. Some of our old neighbours are South African. It's legends. But we'll get this on the go in a sec. Good morning, Pete. How you doing? Good morning, Arnie. How you doing? Right, is the special guest back or is he gone on a Burton? Good morning, John D. He's calling in, I believe, from Australia. So we've got Australian, we've got Canadian, we've got American, we've got South African, we've got European, Austrian, we've got an Australian. We are truly global track fans. Than anyone tuning in that doesn't know what the hell is going on here. You're on Sunday slot car sessions, your weekly fix. We all get together and chat amongst each other in the comments, and I literally just sit here and facilitate it and put a few on the screen. But it's for you guys to get some answers, and we have our special guest back. Are you ready? So here he is. So we had them on a few months ago when we were in early stages of slot car sessions and didn't really know what to do, but they were great, held my hand through the whole thing. So now 50% of that is coming back. We've got the man, the myth, the legend. On screen joining us now is Ian from Magnetic Racing. Good morning,
Hello.
Ian.
Morning.
How you doing, buddy?
Not bad, not bad.
Good stuff. Right, I'm going to turn the music off because that's irritating now. And it is. I'm going to change the little ticker tape. Look, see, got your name up on the screen.
Ah, there you go, prepared. Any questions about...
So, how are you, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Busy.
Excellent. So you agreed to come on and do a bit of co-hosting with me for a bit.
Yeah, it's really weird because I was sat about 2 meters in front of you a couple of weeks ago, wasn't I? Now I'm miles away, but in the same place.
I know, it's strange. I had to move around. If it wouldn't ruin the whole camera focus, I would turn it around and show you what I've done in here. There's not much you can do in here, is there? But
I was going to say, like, what did you move around? It's tiny in there.
I know. Don't tell anyone, I'll be ruined.
No, it's 20 meters by 20 meters. Yeah.
Brilliant. So I tell you what, mate. You guys are on fire at the moment. You are. I looked back at what we were talking about in the last live stream that we did, about 3 months ago.
Oh, what did I say? Did I drop myself in it?
No. I wanted just to check what products you were launching at the time.
Okay.
Because between I don't do the news, but Travis and Dave Kennedy do a great job of the news. It's just constant. I'm like, right, okay, so we've got Lit Gantry, we'll talk about a bit more of that in a bit. Yeah. But yeah, you guys are not hanging around.
No, it takes a while for us to, especially things like this that take a lot of time. So we're not bringing out products like every other day, but when we do bring them out, hopefully they're keeping everyone happy.
Yeah. Well, you're getting a lot of love in the room already. Got Rahul here. It is.
It's going out tomorrow, Rahul.
Business being done. Listen to this. Fantastic.
It's on the table over there. I can see it right there. So courier's picking up tomorrow.
Fantastic. So Rahul is literally he was on the show last week. I don't know if you watched it back or anything, but he's just a great ambassador for the hobby. I was watching that live. I was watching that live with you the whole morning. Yeah, absolute gents. We've got a question for you already before we go into the stream. So, what is the big fan in the background?
I guess you mean the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, I've got
So,
some slides on this. Shall we talk about it in a minute?
Yeah, can do. Yeah.
All right, so a little bit of co-hosting. So what we got is we normally sort of start the show with some viewers' tracks. So if you fancy having a little look at these with us, because
go for it.
As we'll discuss in a minute in these slides, got a couple of bits of your work in here to chat over. So first one up. Oh, hello, it's George. This is George, young track fan here.
Somebody's a Subaru fan then.
Yeah, he made his first appearance last week on the show because they've got a big track in the front room, much to Mum's distaste. But apparently he's into Subarus. So that is his new Subaru. Excuse me.
Nice. Did you see yesterday Scalextric released a picture of their latest can't say it now. You said Subaru.
You're on it now.
Yeah, you've infected me. They released one yesterday, didn't they? Or they released a picture of their latest one that's coming out this year, didn't they?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I heard about it. Here you go.
Right. Max is on his rally track.
Yeah, so Max, I took a picture of one of your Dunlop bridges last week or the week before.
Yeah.
And I really like the color scheme on it, which is why I lifted it and put it on the slides for people to see, to get some inspo. And I hadn't got back the permission from it, but I thought, who dares wins? And it fortunately come back and said it was okay.
Yeah.
But I hadn't accredited him for that Dunlop bridge. So that Dunlop bridge was by Max Freeman. And it turns out, checking in on his feed now and again, he's putting together a bit of a rally track look.
Mm-hmm.
So you go on, we'll talk about this, will come poignant in a bit for anyone who's watching this. But this is the bones of how you create a rally track. You have a template, don't you?
Yeah, there's lots of ways you can do it. We've got two methods. We've got a jig that the router sits in, and that's got like a whole load of holes on it, so you can make different radius corners. And then more recently, we've got like this really long piece of nylon that's got lots of screw holes in it, so you can make any corner you want. So it doesn't have to be perfectly round. You can like shape it as you want, put the screws in, and it holds it in place. That's a really cool bit of kit.
Oh, send us a picture of that.
Yes, we'll do.
What's up me later, baby?
I mean, I can go get it. It's just there. I can go grab it and show you on screen if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah. On my way. 1 second.
We definitely want to see. Let me get rid of this slideshow while we can have a look. This is gold.
Keep talking, Pete. Keep talking.
Don't worry about that. We'll go through some comments while you're there.
Here we go.
So
it looks like a bit like a cog.
Oh, look at that!
And it's got like everyone on the see there's a hole in that. So every 3 or 4, there's a hole in. So you can use screws. So you can make the corner like this, or you can make it like this, or you can like do that, and then you screw it in place, and then you run the router along it because it's really thick. So it's like really long. It's like 2 meters long. You can.
Wow.
See.
Where'd you get that from then? Just anywhere, like hardware stores?
No, actually, I actually saw an advert for it on Facebook, and then I went hunting for it and found them on eBay. I think it was about 25 quid or something. But honestly, it's the best bit of kit I've brought for making corners with a router. If you're not making like a racetrack, you're making more of a rally stage. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah. So incredible. I bet Max wishes he saw that before this.
Yeah. Well, I guess he's probably got quite a bit more to do. So I can share you a link later, Pete, and then you can share it on your socials.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Or if you share it, I'll if you do it, I'll share it.
Sounds good.
Because as Dick Gearing will tell you, I'm literally I just struggle with keeping up with everything at the moment. I think it's because I've got so many projects on the go, which part of is your fault.
Sorry.
Which we'll talk about. I'll show you the video update in a minute. So
that's good.
This is nice to see people having a go.
Absolutely.
So so for anyone who didn't catch the intro, Ian, our guest here, who's in with us now, man, the myth, the legend that is. He is 50% of, yeah, exactly. Who's he on about? 50% of Magnetic Racing. Most people, we all know him, but for those who don't, this is the sort of thing they do. What they do is, what do you do, Ian? You tell us what you do.
Well, we do two things. So Magnetic Racing, we do like the Ferris wheel, the half countries, do all the buildings, the scenery stuff. We develop and make those products. And then we think Scalextric as well. So we build entire tracks for people, and we do like corporate events as well. So yeah, like a bit like you, like fingers in many pies, doing lots of things at the same time, but they work together. So as we've said before, quite often we'll make a whole track for somebody, and some of the buildings on it we then turn into kit form and sell them. So they work together quite well.
So, talking about questions, we've got one here just quick off the bat. Going to try and keep up with the comments this time. It's really hard because the guys in the chat are like on fire.
Just here we go.
What ballast do you put in a half gantry? And for any younger viewers watching, ballast in normal language is small stones. Okay, ballast is stones and pebbles.
I don't know if you can.
I can take this off so people can see what you're doing.
See that? So that is. It's actually used for scuba diving. It's like little tiny iron balls. They're really, really heavy. So that's what we use. But you put nuts and bolts in there. You just need enough weight to counteract the weight of the sign. But yeah, that's what do they call it? Iron ballast? No, it's something basically ballast. It's for scuba diving, for getting your weight right.
Yeah, and you like scuba diving, I believe.
I do.
It's a fact that I've recently found out. So where's the most interesting place you've scuba dived?
Well, I've been really lucky. I've dived quite a lot around the world, but the best place by far is the Red Sea. You've got so many wrecks, you've got all the fish, you've got the sharks, you've got everything really. I've been other places like Fiji was cool. I scuba dived there, but there weren't any wrecks, and I quite like a wreck to have a look at whilst I'm looking at the fish. So
I like getting wrecked.
Well, yeah, exactly. So the Red Sea by far.
Brilliant. So with let me just put this back on screen. So you do YouTube channel alongside your website. So I really enjoy watching your YouTube channel. As you can see in the latest video here, you were introducing the big fan in the background.
The old Ferris wheel.
Yeah, which we can see here. So
nice.
This is incredible, So it's big, right? It is big. People say, no, it's not that big. I'm just looking around. You can tell I've been out of the tile game for a couple of months. Normally I have a tile literally laying around, but a standard size in the ceramics industry is a 600 by 300 mil.
Okay.
So I have no idea what that is in foot and inches, because we haven't used that in the UK and Europe for about 900 years.
2 foot by 1 foot.
It's what?
2 foot by 1 foot.
There you go. So for any of the older people in here, or the people that relate to that, it's 2 foot by a foot. That's how big this is almost.
Well, it's double that. So so it's 600 tall or 630, and then the base is 600 long. So I guess it's really 600 by 600, but it's not very deep, so it will fit really well. Like if you in a gap between two straights or at the back of the track, although it's quite long and tall, it's quite narrow, so it'll fit in quite a lot of spaces quite easily. Yeah,
and the detail is incredible.
Yes, Doug. If you watch the video, Doug was the main designer on this one, and he has gone to town on making it look as real as possible. So very, very well done, Doug.
See, right, look, I love this comment here, because Dick thinks exactly like me. I've said to you about this before, haven't I? About like all of the model making gear you've got in the background. It is like literally like next level. Look at all that bushery and shrubbery he's got on the top shelf. I know, model maker's dream. So what is the actual? What is it made from? The Ferris wheel.
So it's MDF. So it's mostly 2 mil thick MDF. The base is a couple of bits of 3 mil MDF, and then all the detailing is 1 mil thick MDF. But yeah, it's all MDF, and then there are a couple of bits of there's one bit of plastic, which is the main axle through the middle. I'm pointing at the screen, you can't see me pointing. So that's plastic just to give it a bit more wear.
Go on, point
so
again.
the axle fruit that goes through the middle, that's plastic. If that was wood, it would wear out quite quickly. And then there's some wooden dowels that the carts like move. So they needed a round bit of wood. So that's wooden dowels that all come cut to the right length for you. So you don't have to do any of that. But yeah, it's all MDF. And then obviously 2 metal motors if you buy the motorized version.
Okay. And they're available now. We can get our mitts on these.
Yeah, available on the website right now. Yeah.
Fantastic. So side on, front on, and then the detailing, like the queuing system is so accurate because it is just like this. Which is what blows me away is the detailing. Yeah. So Tara's in the room. Morning, Tara. How you doing? Good morning. It's my go-to cockapoo provider. She was just giving you a bit of kudos about the track that you built for them.
Yes, so I basically just did literally just routed the board for them, put the braid on, and then they did everything else. So it was literally just that first stage, and then they went and made it pretty and did a great job. Yeah. Morning, Travis.
Indeed. So wheel weights is Rahul, is that wheel weights when you balance get your new tire on your wheel?
Yeah, I guess so, because they come in little blocks, little sticky like back blocks, so they would be perfect. Yep.
That is a good tip. Yeah, that is a good tip.
We have
I've got a couple of pals who are mechanics, so I can nick that. I mean, borrow those.
We have started introducing this extra base. So the half gantries came with a base that had 2 sandboxes for the weight. But we've introduced this new base onto them as well, where it like goes under the track, so then the track holds it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can see that. So, so rather than having weight and having it fall forward, the track holds it like that, so it then doesn't fall forward. So we started introducing that into the half gantries.
Ah, yeah, I know.
Even easier.
This one,
just like that one. Yep.
Yes. Which is cool. Travis is piping up. That's
small fishing line weights. That's good. And nuts and bolts. When we first developed the half gantries, we've got like, as everybody does in their shed, we've got like this pot of just random nuts and bolts, and we just filled them up with those, and they work perfectly as well.
Yeah. So
I knew I should have glued the ballast bolt.
Well done, Paul. Here we go.
So we use what's the best glue? We use Gorilla super glue gel. It's super glue, but you've got a few seconds before it sets. There you go. My lovely assistant Debbie there's holding it up.
That's it.
So yeah, you've got a couple of seconds of movement. Unlike normal super glue, like if it holds almost instantly, with the gel, you've got a few seconds before it holds instantly. So you just got to be careful. Remember, I don't know if you've watched Dave from Slot R, where he's making our container, definitely don't use super glue anywhere near
this one.
Clear stuff. Because he did it deliberately on his fridge, but as he said, like you shouldn't use super glue anywhere near like windows and stuff like that.
How good was that? How good was that? That was a masterclass in detailing.
It was.
I'll tell you, that was really. If no one saw the container cafe build by Dave, who has a problem with authority and following rules and instructions, he does his own twist on the container cafe, which leaves all of us sitting here scratching our heads thinking, genius.
Do that?
Exactly. So what we got here?
This is my caffeine. I don't do coffee, but this is my caffeine, Dave. So I'm going to have some of that.
There you go. He's got full fat in there. White label.
Question, so I've earned some caffeine.
He's on holiday. He's on holiday with the kids. He's got a full-on Coca-Cola at 8 in the morning. Have you got any plans for doing some fencing similar to what's going on around the Ferris wheel, like an additional?
We did actually release fencing about 2 weeks ago, 4 different styles, and one of them is exactly the same as what's around the Ferris wheel. So if you go on the website and click on, I think it's in accessories in the shop, you can see there's 4 different types of fencing. One's Goodwood style, and then there's 3 other types. And then we also did crowd control barriers as well. So yes, there are fencing available right now.
Yeah. Dick just wants to know what the flexi thing for routing was made out of.
It's like a nylon. It's like a plasticky nylon. Like, yeah, it almost looks like jelly blocks before you make jelly, but obviously a lot harder. But I'm pretty sure you better get it in eBay in Australia, Dick.
Yeah. It was that. So cool. Good that one on the go. So then if we just push forward then and have a look at some other things that you've sort of shared with us since the last time you were on the program. There's a couple. I've only pulled out a couple of the new releases because I do want to talk to you about the track aspect of the business as well.
Yes.
I say business. I mean, seriously, you've carved a business that is uber fun. You know, my mum always told me, if you find out a way to get paid to do something you love, you'll never work another day in your life.
Absolutely.
And I'm just in a nice, happy way for you. You must be smug about that.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes when a deadline's approaching, it does get a little bit stressful, but that's what I don't know. You take the rough with the smooth.
You know, I'm happy that you're smug because I'm going to be assisting you a bit later in the year in September. I'm really happy that you're doing well personally. But no, it couldn't happen to a nicer pair of guys, honestly.
Cheers, Pete.
Right, so this is revolutionary because lights up.
Yep.
Lights up. And
I've got one here.
I've got one here. I can't pull it any closer because it's plugged into like the back wall.
There we go. That off. That's on.
Hold on a second. Let me get it up on the screen here. Oh, it's all going wrong.
Off.
There you go.
On.
Ian's flashing, everyone. Ian is flashing.
Flashing. I'm on fire.
I knew it'd be a flash in the pan this chat. No, definitely don't need a rum in that.
Is the rum in your coffee? Is that the secret?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I got a massive one here. I'm going to put that there because in about half an hour, I start to crack at the seams, as Dave at Sloss R realised by the end of the stream last week, as he's going cross-eyed. Right, here's a good tip. I mean, having Tara in the house is like a gift as well. Tara and I are going to do a podcast together because she doesn't want to come on the screen, which is fair. There's a couple of other people I've asked to come on that also don't want to come on the screen. So you're not alone, Tara. But if we can do a radio style podcast,
that'd be cool.
And then maybe I could put on some slides and some images to accompany what we're talking about. I really feel that some guys would get some real benefit from your tips and help. But we can talk about that. It's up to you. There's no pressure or no stress here. The fact that you're in the chat giving us tips is enough. So morning, Steve, by the way, as well. So do you have issues with Windows? Because it seems to be an occurring theme that people get challenged with Windows.
Well, as Tara says, there are quite a few special glues out there. We've got another one which I can't remember what it's called, but I got it from our local model shop. Our local model shop guy's really helpful.
What's the model shop called? Let's give them a shout out.
Alton Model Centre.
ALTON.
Yes, down south, not the one up north by Alton Towers, the one down south near us.
Yeah, morning, Alton.
So yeah, Paul at Alton Model Centre sorts us out really all the time. Whenever we need advice about certain things, something we're trying new, I'll quite often go in there and have a chat with him. So he's a really useful. As you say, support your local. It's really cool to have such a good model shop so close. We're really lucky. Yeah,
we're going to rip Travis off. Support your local.
Support your local.
So any news on the motorised triangle billboard?
Well, you've already got one, Darren. So there's no wait for you.
No pressure.
But yeah, it is OTL. It is on the list. So yeah, but no, there's no actual news.
This is the triangular billboard.
That's how you motorize it. You get Pete to sit there and twiddle it.
Give me a cup of coffee and I'll come round.
Yeah, that's it. As long as you got a good
Ian's
toilet.
kindly agreed to print off my branding.
Yep.
There's going to be Magnetic Racing, Slot Car Guy, and Track Fans. And then I'm going to purchase another 3 because I've got about another 10 YouTube channels I want to promote. So I can't fit them all into 3 sides. Right, let's have a quick look down. Here's another question.
Yeah.
Can you introduce a battery box like Dave used on his container cafe for the gantries? Yeah, that's a great question, Dick.
So the half gantries, the light up ones, they do come with the sand and salt box. I suppose if you're using a square battery, you could probably edit it so it fitted in those, like make the box slightly bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Okay, cool. We like that one.
Slot Car 21 says is Autumn Model Shop online. Unfortunately, I don't think they are. They're quite old school. You can phone up and order stuff and pay over the phone and they post it, but they're not online as far as I'm aware.
See, this worries me, Ian. Just having a look while you was answering that.
Yeah.
We've got a party in Slot R's shed of an evening. Past 9:30, Slot R's in his shed with thumbs up man and a bottle of rum by the look of it. And Steve's still in bed. Well, get him up. Tara, what is the matter with him? Incredible. So, yeah, you've answered the online bit. I do like shouting out model shops because with the behemoths that are online at the moment, it's very, very hard for them to get traction at 10 o'clock on Saturday night when you realize you've run out of glue and you need it for tomorrow. And a lot of traditional model shops are traditional in the fact they don't open Sundays.
Yeah.
So they kind of lose out a bit to online retailers. And then on a second sweep of the knees, they lose out to a mega corporate retail giant, begins with H and ends in Hobbycraft because they open on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So I actually make a point of supporting my local model shop where I can, which is ironically called The Model Shop. Genius in Northampton. And I get things like little thin tubing that I can make collars from or piping from. And how much did this cost me here? So this bit of metal tubing, which I used, Ian, to hang on, I'll put the screen up so you can see what I'm doing, which I used to create the collars to stop the wheels on this thin wheel.
I remember you showing me that when I was there. Yes.
Yeah. It's like £1.35.
Yeah.
And so I've bought it for £1.35. I could probably get it delivered for free for the same place online. But do you know what? I reduced my carbon footprint because I walked half a mile to the model shop rather than getting a van to drive to me and drop it off.
Yeah.
See, you can do your bit without sticking your face to the road.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, all these pots you see along the top here.
Yeah,
they're all from Autumn Model Shop. They're all
yes, our guys do those.
Yeah,
brilliant.
So there we go, Autumn Model Centre. So they're all pretty much everything you see on here because we like to support them so much. Like it's all brought from them.
Excellent.
So none of this is out online. It's all from our local to keep them there because I love going into a model shop. When I go on holiday, if I go on holiday and I see a model shop in the town I'm on holiday, I'm like, yes, I've got somewhere to explore.
Paul, this is brilliant, Paul. You can imagine this. Paul at Alton is going to come into work tomorrow from 9:30. His phone is going to be off the hook. People trying to phone up to place a phone orders, paying him by card over the phone, and then getting it shipped out. He's like, I tell you what, right? If he gets like a few orders tomorrow, because I do need a couple of replacement.
He's got a whole rack of those. Yeah.
Yeah, so I might do it. I might give him an order tomorrow if he'll cover the cost of the post and do all of that. So we'll see.
I should go in there and take a video. He's got like a revolving cabinet with all his slot cars in. Just take a video and then put it online so everybody can. So it's like me, like the online shop for him. And then you can phone him up saying, "Can I have this one and this one?"
Yeah. Now, practical. Practical as you like. Yes. I'm already rocking it. Hang on, let me get you up while you're showing us those bad boys. Awesome. It is well in flow. And do you know what, Ian? I didn't realise. Let me put the slide up. I didn't realise when we got together the other week before you struck ill.
Yeah.
When you were showing them to me, I didn't realise that they were different variants.
Oh, you just looked at the colours.
I literally looked at the colours and I went, this is going to work best for where I want it.
Yep.
So I actually have picked the one that would have been more suited for what I need, which I'm quite pleased about. But yeah, that was a great idea to have the different colours, different designs on the top. Brilliant idea.
Yeah, I mean they work perfectly, not just for modelers, but even like your desk at work. If you need your pens and your prick stick and all that sort of stuff, like the pink one might work really well. You have to have it pink, but that might work well for like a working desk rather than a modeling desk. So that's why we've got the range of them.
It's awesome, awesome stuff. So then I think hang on, we've got just this one and another product to have a look at, and then we'll talk about tracks if that's cool.
There it is.
Let's get him let's get him
there it is.
Pumped up. Hang on, there you go.
There it is, up the top there.
He's on the Zoom, top shelf as they call it. It is top shelf.
Top shelf product.
So Reims. Now, did you do this because you actually drove past and popped into Reims, or was it on the radar before you visited Reims?
Oh, massively on there before. I mean, we've been to Reims a few times now. We've been quite lucky to do quite a few events in Europe. And a lot of the places you go to in Southern Europe, like South Germany and South France and stuff, you literally go past.
Because we don't want your job at all.
No, not at all. So yeah, and it's just been on the list forever. I mean, we did the normal pit buildings like years ago. And it was just such a big project to do that big building, to do it justice and to do it properly. It wasn't the sort of thing we could knock out in a couple of days. So it was a big project. If you've watched our video on it, I actually did it last year, but I wasn't happy with it. And I pretty much got to that point where you see in the picture, but I was so not happy with it that I just deleted the file and started again just before Christmas to make sure I got it right.
Fantastic. And is that, the scoreboard on the one on the left?
Yes.
Is that as big as the Ferris wheel?
It's not quite as tall. I think from memory, somebody brought that painted one off us at Gaydon because they loved it so much. It was they actually brought the painted one from us at the end of Sunday. It's probably about 400 tall.
Okay. It's
maybe
still pretty big.
Yeah, it's still pretty big, but it's really, really narrow. That will literally go anywhere. The footprint, the base of it is not much more, probably not much bigger than like your standard like iPhone, like your smartphone.
Oh, wow. So is it top heavy or would you glue it down?
No, it's perfectly stable. It's really, really, really well balanced.
Excellent. And then this is something that I wanted to talk about because you get can you build on this, or is that how it comes? What's the setup with this?
It's all modular. So all of those things there, the buildings and the pit walls, you can put them in any order. You can do more of them. So that's 6 separate pit buildings you can see there. So 3 of the normal double-story ones, 2 single-story, and then the podium. But you could buy a whole row of double ones, a whole row of single ones. You could have big, small, big, small, big, small.
And that's the thing I like about you guys, is that you're actually conscious about what you're producing. You haven't gone into, you haven't pigeonholed yourself into a high-end offer. This has got to be big and big and big and big.
Yes.
You've got things as small as a trash can, a picket fence, a TARDIS. You don't have to buy these mega structures to start building and developing your track. And then what I also like about your stuff is in accompaniment with Dave at Slot R and soon to be probably Rob at Swift Slot, is that you take all of the offcuts and you make some more stuff with it.
Yep.
So it's like you get even more value from what you're doing.
Yep.
I've noticed after I built a few of your buildings, you can see in the portfolio behind me, is that when you're building them, you get a lot of spares. And I
Yes.
don't realise this. I'm like building everything in the kit and then realising that I've got about 20 too many tables or something. Is that on purpose? Do you throw all this extra stuff in?
Yeah, I mean, some things, some of the products, you've got variation when you're building it anyway. Sometimes like we put extra like fence posts in case you accidentally snap one or stuff like that. So yeah, it's just generally just to make sure that you've got everything you need when it comes to it, because we all have accidents when we're building.
Okay, hang on. I'm being corrected. I'm being fact checked. Fact checked. Fact check. All right, make him a moderator. It's smaller than the Ferris wheel, dude. Right, what have we got here? The build I have filmed right now is all scraps turned into a full slot cart. Nice. I never doubted him for a second. Are you on to Robert Swift slots yet,
yep.
Ian?
Yep.
Good. Because he is literally amazing. So, leads me nicely into the next section, which is your epic, insatiable need to build world-class tracks that make all of us think we've got a lot of work to be able to do to catch up with you guys. So just before we have a look at some tracks, I picked out 4. In fact, let's do it. Let's you tell me about these tracks. Okay. So first one is the one that I come down to visit you you for and on, which was Mercedes-Benz World.
Yeah.
In meters for us young'uns, how big was that?
Just short of 11 meters long, which is about 33 feet for the. Oh, it's on there. There you go. And then about 3 meters wide, so 9.5 foot wide.
And how did this come about? Because I kind of understand. I know where this come about, but a lot of people haven't been for dinner with you or had these lengthy sort of stand chats with you. What got you into building tracks? What was the turning point?
Oh, okay. How building tracks? So we started doing events where we like go along to somebody's like corporate event with boxes of tracks and buildings and stuff, and do events like for 3 hours, pack it down, go home again. And then it was I think like 2016, I think it was. One of the companies was like,
vintage.
we're like, can we leave it here? We love it so much. And we're like, we can't, but we could make you a track for you to keep. Just on a whim. We just like almost jokingly suggested we'll make you one for you to keep. And they're like, yeah, let's talk about it. And it was actually Lego and Scalextric together. It was only quite small. It was only 8 foot by 4 foot, basically a figure of 8, but it was Lego infused digital Scalextric.
Hold on. So 8 foot by 4 foot, I've learned, is a standard sheet of plywood, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, 2.4 by 1.2 meters.
That's it.
Okay, cool.
So we built that for them, and that's where it started. We were like, oh, that was fun. We love modeling anyway. Let's put on our website that we provide this service now. And yeah, here we are. 7 years later. Yeah.
And it is literally taking you around the world, hasn't it?
Yep, literally, yep. So the Mercedes-Benz World track is literally a recreation of their site. So they've got this massive building. It's basically a Mercedes-Benz advert. You go there to experience Mercedes-Benz. There's a track out the front which you can drive pretty much any of their cars. They do under 17 lessons. You can drive like automatic Mercedes A classes, all the way up to your top of the range AMG 63s, your G wagons, all of those things. But the site is literally right next to the old Brooklyn circuit. So behind the building is what's remained of the Brooklyn circuit. They're right next door to the Brooklands Museum. So they asked us to recreate their site, but making the track Scalextric. So it's like a massive diorama with a Scalextric track in it, which we actually use Carrera. I shouldn't really use Scalextrics, but in the UK, we know Scalextrics as slot car is Scalextrics in our head in the UK because the branding was so good, and none of the other companies, I guess, made it in the UK as we were growing up. So they cornered the market in the UK. But I do know it's slot car, Carrera, Policar, Scale Auto, get all the names out there.
Yeah, and the rest of it, you can go on for hours. We should get Travis on here. He's like the encyclopedia with brands, isn't he?
That's it.
So we get Travis on here to give us an A to Z, and we'll come back in 40 minutes. The reason I put this one on here for you, Ian, is because it accompanies the video that we made together recently of our visit to Mercedes-Benz World. So that if you're struggle spatially to visualize how big 11 by 3 meters is, or 33 by 9.5 foot is, then you can actually, after this, go and have a look at that video and see this image in reality and understand why it is a breathtaking piece of work. What's this LA inspired street circuit then?
So we made that one, I think that was 2019, I think.
Okay.
Customer wanted a track. They used to live out in LA. They go out to LA quite a lot for business reasons and stuff. They wanted a slot car track in their man cave, is the best way to describe it.
Some man cave.
Bigger than our unit, but yeah, their man cave. And they wanted to incorporate lots of elements that they like from LA. So it's actually quite hard to get a photo of the whole thing to it. But basically, I'll describe what's there. So on the right hand side, you've got all the sewers. So the track goes down into the sewer. It goes along the sewer. There's a jump into a container, and then they come back out of the sewers, and then they go down. What's it called? The Boulevard. I think it's Hollywood Boulevard, where all the stars are in the tarmac.
That's it.
You've got like the theatre. On the left-hand side, he was a massive Ferrari fan. He had a few. So we built the Ferrari garage from LA. So that's on the left-hand side. And then in the middle at the back there, you can see it's the Hollywood Hills. You can just about see it says Hollywood there. So that goes up into Hollywood Hills. You got your big swooping bends. On the left-hand side, you've got a big villa. So the track goes around the villa. So we painted the track green, like the car's going over the grass. It's like smashed through the gate. It's gone round the villa. And then it comes back past Santa Monica Pier. So it's got the pier, and it's got like Muscle Beach.
Yes,
and then
Gold's Gym.
Yes. We should have put a little Travis on there. Should have put a little Travis on there.
Yeah. Get him one of them Gold's Gym vests.
At the front in the middle there's like a little blue building you can just about see. That's called Moon Shadows. Moon Shadows? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite a famous like cafe, bar, restaurant where you pull up, you give them the keys, the valet goes and parks your car, and it looks over the sea. Lots of famous people have been pictured there, and he liked to go there, so we made that for him. And then it comes back across the bridge, back into the storm drains. You can also see at the back and the orange bits. That's like a little container park, and there's a little like an illegal rave going on inside the container park. You press a button and the music plays, and there's a DJ and stuff. Oh yeah, and I also remember he was a big fan of Travis Gymkhana. So there's actually a separate little rally track just in front of that container park.
Wow, that is some
race
detail.
Around like stunts. So yeah, it was a big build. It was up to that point, it was our biggest build before we did that Mercedes one.
How long did it take to put together from the guy going, yeah, I want it, to you delivering it?
That one was about 4 months full time. From design to making the tables to building it all. So yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Wow, that is awesome. And it doesn't stop there, because look what I found. And if I thought about it, I would have had these on individual slides, so we could have had it a bit bigger. I do apologize. I didn't realize it wouldn't be as big when we're squeezed on the side. You
did that deliberately though, Pete, didn't you? To make them go to our website to have a look at the pictures themselves.
Yes, what, the magneticracing.com website?
No, so thinkscalextric.co.uk.
Oh, I see. So tell me about this one on the left here.
So the one on the left, that was made for the Switzerland Tourist Board. We've worked with them actually. We're building their 4th track for them at the moment. That was the first one we built. Wow. So they have a stand at Goodwood Revival every year. And that was the first one they commissioned us to build. So it's basically Switzerland. So you've got like the really clear lake, you've got the left right uphill climb around the car park and back down again. So it's a single run rally stage that every customer, just like the people that have seen the one at Gaydon the last 2 years, that was the first one. That was the predecessor to those two. So you get one practice run and then one timed run. And then we have a leaderboard, and they gave out prizes for the fastest time of the day.
Yeah. And then the one on the right is probably my favorite, in honesty.
So we built this one, the one on the right, we built this off our own back. So this was, I think we built it during COVID, where we didn't have many events because obviously no events were happening. Track builds weren't really happening. And we were like, we needed something to do. And we thought, what rally stage could we build? And we thought, let's make a beach scene. So the car races along under the pier, along the beach, and then goes up onto the promenade, past the chip shop. The chip shop's got like a working chimney. So, you know, all the smoke coming out of there. You've got your classic British seaside shop with like your buckets and your spades and your big inflatables. And then it goes back round on itself, and then it comes back along the beach and it finishes back where you start.
Fantastic. So what's on the table now? Are you building anything for anyone at the moment?
Yeah, we've got two track builds at the moment. Like I said, we're doing the fourth one for Switzerland Tourist Board, which you'll probably most likely see at Gaydon next year if we've still got it. So we're doing another Switzerland scene, but it's based around St. Moritz. And they have an ice race. So one of the lakes in St. Moritz freezes in the winter. And they have ice racing and what do they call it? Polo. Well, when people on horses playing polo. So obviously we're looking at the racing more than the polo. But so we're making a big ice race rally stage.
Cool.
And then the other one, I'm not sure I can talk about at the moment.
He's turned up. He's obviously turned up to Williams now. He's on.
Yes, so the LA track. So the LA track is a hybrid of half of it is Scalextric's track, and then the other half where it goes down into the storm drain, it's routed. So the two lanes, it is a racetrack, a digital racetrack, but the two lanes go into one, and as they go through the storm drain, there's an overtaking point. So one car can take the jump, and then the other car can choose to not do the jump, but it's longer to try and overtake whilst they're in the storm drain. And then they come back out of the storm drain and then back onto Scalextric's track. So it's a bit of a hybrid of both.
And do in the same track then? So the Scalextric track comes into the wood routed track or standalone tracks?
No, it's the same track. So, you get the Scalextric track piece that you use for pits where it goes two lanes into one.
So next level.
So because it's Scalextric's digital, they can go on any lane, so they can do single lane for a while, and then when they come back to two lanes, they can then swap lanes to start overtaking again. So yeah, all digital.
Unbelievable. Emma, what is this here?
Would you consider track kits, magnetic racing, basic kits for the masses for actual tracks? We have talked about it. The issue, just like any product, really, is having the variety for everybody. So where do you start, really? What everybody's space is different. Everybody, even just what track you use. Carrera's wider than Scalextric's, and then you've got Ninko, I think, somewhere in the middle. So if you were going to make something like that, but like we made for Tara, we can make the basic of a rally stage. So like these two rally stages Pete's got on the screen, we could just literally make the wood base, route it and braid it for you. And then you come and take it away, or we deliver it, and then you do all the scenery. So that's
enough, Ian. A bit like the one that you dropped off to me recently.
How good is that link? There you go. Just like this one. So this is what we delivered to Pete recently. It was a half-finished rally stage that we've just not had time to do. So we thought, who better to give it to finish it, and for him to learn some new skills than Pete.
Yeah, so that's how it's looking now. And this is the
Progress
progress
this morning as
so
of
far.
That's Pete's bike.
So I've just seen a little bit of run paint. So I'm stuttering there. So this is the progress so far, Ian.
Yep.
I haven't done much this week because I've been at the show.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's got some colour to it. That's good.
It's got some colour. I had to redo the mounting because that was broken open.
Yep.
So that's all painted now. I've added more brown.
Oh, that's coming alive. Like
hang on,
literally, it's like a completely different track.
Stop that there.
Yeah.
So round the radial of the green part of the corner, the right-hand side, is now got loads more brown and rocks because I'm going to have a barrier there and loads of people stood there. So it indicates that it's being worn in. It's been trampled.
Yep.
You
making the barrier like Slaughter?
It looks wet, the road, because it is wet. I've just painted it again. So that's where I'm going to do a little beach scene. Some resin.
Yep.
And then that'll be it. The lighting's pretty drastic down there.
Yeah.
But generally, I'm ready for proper tape. Yeah. So I'll get that off the screen. So that was track update. Yeah. Do you do any racing? Magnetic racing?
Not as much as we'd like to. Like we when we do events, we rock up, we spend an hour and a half building a track for the customer to use for the event. Then they suddenly come in and fill the room up. They race for 3 hours and then it's home time. So we quite often will set up a track and we'll only do like 2 test laps to make sure the track's working. And then that's it. So quite often, no. Sometimes like we'll put a stig time on the board and then they don't believe that time's possible after they've been playing for 3 hours. So quite often Doug will quickly like just do 2 laps and just beat his own stig time. And they're like, oh, okay. They realize how bad they are.
Exactly. And then we haven't had a shameless plug. We've talked about it, but it would be rude not to just throw up your website here for the moment so people can visualize. If they go to your website, they're at the right website. This is the right website.
That's it, magneticracing.com.
Very customer friendly indeed. And this is my favorite section, as I said last time, customer photos.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's Daz's work.
There you go. And there's Dick's on the right-hand side. They're both Dick's.
These ones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it says Dick Gearing.
Yeah. Who else we got in there?
Tara's in here.
Yeah. There's another bit of Daz's work. The cover, is that Daz's one? Or is that somebody else's?
Oh, this one.
Yeah, I can't see.
Someone else's, Henry's.
Is that MP slot cars?
Yeah, the Heinekens.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, Massimo. I like watching his content. So there's a load going on here.
Yeah.
So that's where you have a look for some inspiration. And then there's all sorts of other bits in here. Really easy to find the bit that you need for the track when you need it.
That's it.
And just, if you're going to go on here, I'm going to stop sharing this for the time being. Because if you go on there, you're going to need to put your credit card in your wife's hand prior to coming on here, or else you're going to end up with her hand on the back of your head.
Worth the pain.
Brilliant. Exactly. That's what I say, Dick.
This website. Oh, okay. Yes.
We need the high-res images, Dave. High-res images to Ian later.
That's it.
He said, oh, my God. Hang on a second. Hold the phone here, Ian. Right. No swearing. My mother's in the room.
Hey.
Hi, Mum. How you doing? Okay.
He's behaving himself. Don't worry.
And no one tell her I got arrested at the Slot Car Festival at all, please.
When's your court hearing for that?
Exactly. When the restraining order's lifted, not allowed in 100 foot of a slot car club.
How far is that? 30 meters?
Bit further. It was a bad crime.
So Mel, quite a few magnetic wrestling kits on Melbourne race group tracks.
Yeah, indeed.
So
you're doing well down under, buddy.
Do they have a Facebook group that we can join?
Yeah, throw it in, John. If we've got Facebook, we can get the pictures off and share them with other people's. I'll tell you what, I've got a question for you, Ian.
Yep, go.
And selfishly, it's because it's probably the next part of my build.
Yeah.
How do you deal with track lighting?
Track lighting? Well, I suppose you could buy magnetic racing track lights.
Yeah.
What do you mean by track lighting? So you're after some lights for that rally track, are you?
So I just muted myself there so I didn't cough in everyone's faces. Yeah, like, if I go here, I can't enlarge it, but on the seafront, on the British seafront, on the track on the right, you've got these little lampposts and then one right in the circle of the rally end.
Yep.
Like that sort of thing. How do you sort of create those?
You've got two options there, really. Sometimes we resin print them. So I'll design a lamppost on FreeCAD, that sort of thing. Very simple. And then resin print it with a hole down the middle and then put an LED wires down at the bottom. Or sometimes, like if you go on eBay or Amazon, you can get lampposts for trains, that sort of thing. So a lot of train scales are smaller, but quite often, like a lamppost, like sometimes on a train layout, like they have on a real train, sometimes they got lampposts that are like 3 times higher than a real lamppost.
All right.
Like sometimes in their yards and stuff, so it spreads the light out a lot. So that size lamppost would actually work quite well in a 132 scale. So sometimes you can find some of those. So it's just just find them online or
an underside. So if you flip the table over, how does it daisy chain from one to the next, or do you have to put them all into some kind of circuit board somewhere?
So it's just like your half gantry you've got there. You've got a positive and a negative.
Yeah.
And then you basically make it like a ladder. So you could run like a red cable and a black cable all the way along, and then you just join the red to the red and the black to the black along that.
Just strip a bit out along the way and then just wrap it around. Really?
Yeah, so then it's like imagine it like a ladder. So the lamppost is the step, and then you've got your 2 long bits of wire where are the sides of the ladder. So you add like that. So yes.
Okay.
Make sense?
Just do a video on it.
Yes. No, honest. We keep meaning to do a video on our track lights, but not just about trying to sell them, but how to wire them up as well. Because I think some people do worry about wiring, but LEDs are very simple. It's very hard.
They're not going to blow the house up, are they? Though, if they're like 9 volts, 12 volts, something like that.
12 volts. Yeah, nothing at all really. And most LEDs you can't blow them up. So.
I saw that. Rob has got some of your track lights, and I saw it because I'm eagle eye when it comes to spotting your products on other people's kit. And he's got one of these.
Yep.
And I'm going to get it to work. I'm going to make it work live on telly.
I might be able to beat you. I'm going to beat you. I win.
Oh, don't beat me.
I beat you, Pete.
Oh, no. Don't tell me the battery died. No, what is this? Oh, don't work with children, animals, or 9-volt batteries. It's out of there. That is looking good, though, Ian. Oh, amazing. And so Dick here says he's 3D designed his own light heads, but can't bring himself to get it wired up. Can you smell smoke? Are you? That's a good point. Are you now into 3D printing? Because I know you would laser cut things
Yep.
and build tracks and route them by hand and stuff. Are you 3D printing? Have you got a printer?
Yeah, so we have got 2 resin printers and 2 PLA 3D printers. We actually had the 3D printers
Wow.
well before we had magnetic racing and the laser printer.
Okay.
So
Are you a tech head? Do you like tech?
a little bit. I like it. I'm just not particularly good at it, if that makes sense. You know, some people like they just naturally they can just do things straight away. I can do them if I learn and research and stuff. If that makes sense.
Yeah. You
So
want to try and do your own circuitry a bit, your own design. Can you design in 3D print, or do you have to get templates?
Yeah, so there's a program called FreeCAD, which is literally free, and you can make stuff in there and then print it on your 3D printers. So I think was it Dick up there said about making his own head for a lamppost. So that's the other thing you can do is just design the head and then buy a bit of tube, like the tube you brought for your slot car, and then you can just run the wire down through the tube and then stick the lamppost head on the end.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot quicker than easier than trying to print the entire tube.
Indeed, good stuff. So we've got here, I think, thanks, Paul. I always forget, if you're enjoying the show, you like the content, smash the like button for us, leave a comment. If you're joining in late and you're wondering what is going on here on a Sunday morning, it's Sunday Slot Car Sessions from 7:30. We're joined with Ian from Magnetic Racing. Good morning. And Dave is just, we're in the middle of talking about LEDs. I think it's going to be a race between, I think you should both do a video. I think Flotter should do a video because he's already sort of semi introduced it with the container cafe.
Yeah.
And if you were to do one on things like getting the wiring into your buildings, because what I noticed when I was doing the doghouse is there's a stage when you're building it that it actually says on the board, before you go any further, do your lighting wiring now, because then you're going to enclose it for the top bit where you put the ventilation on. So that will be quite interesting. So Max is online. Morning, Max. We were having a look at your track a little while ago, your routed track. So telegraph lampposts. Oh, here you go. What slot car printers? 3D printers have you got, Ian?
So what's the name? The PLA ones I've had for years. Can't remember what they're called. Creation.
Okay.
And then the resin, I've got an Allegro Mars Pro 3 and a Nova 3D. So yeah.
Okay. I mean, this means nothing to me, so I hope that's meant something to you, Paul. So again, a bit of kudos for your figures here, mate. Cozzy's got a hell of a setup. Don't know if you've caught any of his stuff. He's making small content at the moment. So sort of short tail, 2 to 5 minutes long, so you can take it in a digest.
Yeah.
But he's got a monster train set going on and a slot car track underneath that.
I've not seen that. I need to find that out.
Yeah, check it out. Great tip. Cheers, Dick.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. In the UK, Sports Direct sell metal straws that have got a bend in them as well, which they might be good. Thinking about it.
Nice, because Mrs. Brown has metal straws.
Yeah.
Because don't use plastic because of the chemicals on plastic and ingestion.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look what we're looking at. Yes. Have you got some Goodwood stuff in your building collection?
Yes, we've got quite a lot of Goodwood. We've got the pit lane, the pit building. We've got the Super Shell building, the Marshall Post, the TV tower from out the back at St. Mary's. So yeah, there's quite a lot there. Yep.
Brilliant. Right, we don't condone stealing. But if there is a way, if there is a will, there is a way. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, we are definitely going to promote.
Oh, Pete's gone. Has he left me to do the show on my own? Well, any questions, ask them in the thing. I won't be able to make them come up on the screen, but I can certainly try and answer them. whilst Pete has I guess his battery's probably gone.
I'm back.
Oh, there we go. I was looking after the show there for you.
You know, I've got one job as the cameraman and broadcaster is to make sure you plug the bleeding camera into the mains.
I don't know. Can't get the staff these days, Pete.
You know, but at least when your battery do a battery change in the camera, it's that slick. If your laptop battery runs out, 5 minutes to restart. Yeah, you got it, Dave. I've still got to figure out how to stop the camera overheating. And that's it. Ian is running the gig. He did a great job. Delion is in the house. Good morning. So, Ian, at this time of the day, we sort of break everyone's hearts by saying we've got about 5 minutes left in the stream.
Yep.
5 minutes left.
5-minute warning.
Indeed. So, just before we move on, I don't know if you catch up on your slot car fix, but I just want to bring everyone's attention. New slot car magazine is now out. So you can get that if you need to online in digital. It's one click away to slotcarmagazine.co.uk or in copy. Is that the copy?
Is that the copy that's got the Gaydon Slot Car Festival thing in it?
Correct.
Yes.
Yep. Absolutely on the money. It's got it in here. I'm just leafing through it. I shouldn't be distracted. So that's one fine place to, next to YouTube, obviously, and live streams and content to get info from. It's particularly good if you're trying to wind down on a digital sunset and not look at your phone while you're trying to switch off in an evening. So you can flip out a magazine and have some proper not screen time. Yep. The other way to do that, Ian, I don't know if you're a member of them, is the NSCC, the National Scalextric Collectors Club.
Yep.
Because every month you get yourself every month it is Ramo.
Oh, wow.
So the slot car mag is bi-monthly. This is monthly. And then you've got YouTube, and then you've got Faceache and all of the other social media channels. It really is a good time to be in the hobby at the moment.
It's a full-time job to keep up.
It is, yeah, totally and utterly. So what we got here? So project-wise, you've told us you've got a couple of projects going on just for the last couple of minutes. How do you get the cars for your tracks? Where do you get them from?
Depends what we need, really.
Is it runners, or do you just go to the Slot Car Festival and buy a box of old ones?
Yeah, I mean, for events, we use all sorts, really. We try and use like the high resistance cars, so the cars that are more for kids, so they don't break so easily. When we first started, we used to buy lots of nice cars, and you do 2 events, and you couldn't use them anymore. So yeah, things like Porsches, Lamborghinis, Nissan GTRs, all the high resistance ones.
Excellent. That's why I like this from Thunderslot, this Lola T70. And the reason I love this is because it's got no spoiler to break, and those wing mirrors are so small that they don't break. Look, it's perfect. So I get it totally.
We've got, if anybody's in the UK and they're going to the Formula E in London next weekend, we've got a track in the fan zone for the whole weekend. And they asked us to use Formula E cars. So we've made, we brought a load of Scalextric's Formula E cars and then painted them like generic, because obviously there's like 11 teams and we couldn't. So we've had to paint them all. So, but these are going to get absolutely annihilated for 2 days of the general public.
Wow.
I'd be very surprised if we've got 12 of them. I'd be very surprised if any of them look like Formula E cars by the end of Sunday. But if anybody's going to the Formula E in London on Saturday, Sunday next weekend, come and find us.
Formula ruined.
Yeah, Formula very ruined. So yeah.
Thanks, Delion. Yeah, great car, the old Lola Thunderslot. So then, Ian, I just got to say, mate, thank you. Right, 2 things. I've got to wrap up with 2 things. Right.
Yep.
Firstly, the ongoing saga that is the Scalextric Visitor Centre competition. that I announced like 3 weeks ago. Then I didn't have enough time to write all the names down for the tombola.
Yeah.
So this week I was going to be using the digital thing that Travis sent me, the comments picker that Travis sent me a link for. Yeah. But I need to speak to him about it because he's trying to take money out of my kid's inheritance for the pleasure of, and I'm not up for paying £8 a month for next year for this competition. Selector? Yeah, you can get old school. Comment picker.
No, do it old school. Just write the names down, put them in a hat. Yeah.
So next, I mean, my only saving grace is that the visit is in October, so we've got a bit of skin in the game. It's not like it's coming up fast. So that I just wanted to cover that with everyone. That I am conscious that I've still not done this competition that I announced. Next week is the week. By hook or crook, we're having 2 winners. And then the next thing to cover off was, I think that was it actually. I think that was the main thing. I'm big on doing what I say, and I haven't done that. So that's eating me alive. So apart from that, I think... Oh, do you want to see a bit of drift?
Bit of drift?
Yeah, bit of drift. So you got to love a bit of drift. You ready?
A police car drifting, is that legal?
Exactly. So we finished on a bit of drift. Who'd have thought it? That was courtesy of Andy and Ruben, if they're watching.
Nice.
Brilliant. Yeah, Tara, we can't be seen to be rigging the competition, can we? Much.
I've already bagsied them, Tara. Me and Doug are going to win.
Anyway, on the note of Slotar, he's already on his track side. So
cool. Well, thanks for having us on. Well,
you are more than welcome. Thanks for coming on at this god unearthly time in the morning.
We're awake anyway. Always working.
Exactly. What else are we going to do? Now we can go and get coffees in, use the toilet, and get amongst our day. Well done, and everyone. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in a week on content, and we'll see you next week for Sunday Slotcast sessions, 7:30. See you there, everyone. You've been amazing as always.
See you later.
Ta-da, guys.